Deep in the forests of the Taiga, Pavel, an experienced hunter, is intimately familiar with the area. His life has been dedicated to catching a variety of game, from small to large animals. Pavel is a stickler for the rules of hunting, never abusing them, and remains vigilant about the seasons, steadfastly avoiding any temptation to poach. Becoming a hunter was a deliberate choice for him. Raised in the city, he later graduated from veterinary college. However, when he lost his job and his family depended on him, he turned to hunting as a means to support them. His grandfather had instilled in him a passion for hunting from a young age, teaching him to use a gun. What started as a recreational activity soon became essential for his family's well-being. Eventually, his wife also disapproved of him going on frequent walks in the woods, and eventually left him. The man left his apartment for his wife and son, Anton. Therefore, he went to the place he felt most comfortable, to the taiga, to live in his grandfather's house. He had always been attracted to the forest because several generations of his ancestors had been famous hunters. When Anton grew up, Pavel decided to take him with him, and his wife agreed because she realized that father and son spent time together. Anton stayed in his father's hunting cabin all summer. He was happy that his son shared his passion for hunting as well. Their lives continued as usual. One day, while Pavel was on a trip to a nearby village, he decided to cross the river along the well-known path. The ice appeared to be solid, but Pavel stayed vigilant and noticed something trembling in the distance. He decided to go closer to see if the creature needed help, and to his surprise, it was a wolf. The predator had hidden under the water, only revealing its head above the surface. The wolf's paws caught on the edge of the ice floe, and his eyes were closed as if he had already exhausted all his strength and accepted his fate. The water around him turned into ice. Pavel pulled out a knife and started to break the ice around the wolf. Then he carefully lifted it to the surface. From the outside, the animal seemed dead, but as a vet, Pavel knew that seeing pupils could mean life. He took out his flashlight and lifted the wolf's eyelids, letting the light shine into its eyes. Immediately, the pupils narrowed in the bright light. So it's alive, thought Pavel. He tied the wolf to his back and started walking back to his house. Each step became harder because the animal weighed around 80 to 90 pounds, and his legs were already refusing to obey. However, Pavel didn't give up hope because this wasn't just about hunting. This was about saving an animal in trouble. Pavel moved slowly and reached his house, accompanied by these thoughts. He placed the wolf near the stove and covered it with an old blanket, changing his clothes himself to avoid getting sick as he was soaked through. Then he began to heat the wolf and restore its circulation. Pavel poured hot water into jars and placed them on the paws of the animal. Then, he covered him with a blanket. After a while, the wolf started breathing clearly. Pavel was tired and wanted to sleep, but tried not to let himself succumb to slumber, thinking about what would happen when the wolf woke up. After all, it was still a predatory animal. In the meantime, Pavel warmed up and fell asleep anyway. He woke up from a crash, opened his eyes, and saw the wolf had knocked over the chair and was staring at him, confused about where he was. It opened its mouth, and the wolf let out a loud growl, but it only jumped up on its front paws, slightly raising itself. Pavel realized that its hind legs were completely exhausted. Apparently, they had been frozen in the icy water. Pavel started taking care of it, watering, feeding, and massaging the wolf's rear legs carefully. Over time, Pavel gained the animal's trust, and it willingly accepted food and water from him. Pavel moved the wolf to a barn so it would be easier for him, and the hunter would feel calmer. During all that time, he kept massaging its rear legs, and the animal began to stand on all fours and walk a little, though stumbling. Anton came for the holidays just before the end of summer. He brought different vitamins for the animal, and it slowly recovered. It's funny, but as soon as Anton arrived, the beast allowed him to approach. Anton continued to massage, just like his father had done. By the end of summer, the wolf had already been actively running and playing with Anton. It lived in the yard and slept on the porch. However, at the end of August, the wolf climbed over the fence and ran away into the forest. What can we do? The wolf will always be a wolf. He loves freedom, said his father to Anton. In the winter holidays, Anton also visited his father. He had already become an adult, turning 15. They had great fun hunting small game and wandering through the snowy forest. One sunny day, the father instructed his young son to go into the village to buy food. However, before they left, the father warned him strongly that it would be necessary to cross the river on the old bridge this year because the long-awaited thaw had come, and the ice on the river was unstable. Restless Anton, not wanting to waste time on a long detour, decided to go straight through the icy path. The young researcher believed that nothing terrible would happen because such a path turned out to be noticeably shorter than the path across the bridge. As he advanced, the ice painfully bent under his feet, and the sound of air cracking was a universal warning. But the boy could not stand ordinary limitations and risked his life by moving forward randomly. And now came the moment when the thin layer of ice could no longer support him, and gave way, leaving small Anton under a noisy stream. Soaked clothes seemed to toss around the child's body in the darkness, leading towards the inevitable end. Cold took his breath away, and his slight body sank further and further, bound by the incredibly cold embrace. But at the most crucial moment, Anton spotted the friendly figure of a genuine wolf, gray as a shadow. From just one glance at him, the boy felt hope had returned. The wolf, who recognized their friendship from his father, wasted no time and grabbed the child by the collar. As it rose to the surface, its bright eyes shone like a beacon of rescue in a sea of darkness. Saved from drowning, Anton understood that an additional moment in icy water could be fatal to him. He understood that it was essential to run home at once to escape the vicious frost. Rushing at full tilt, the youngster surged ahead, feeling the wolf's unwavering support as it ran alongside him, a vigilant companion guiding him to the doorstep like a dedicated sentinel. Little Anton found solace in the snug warmth of his home, a well-earned respite from the day's adventure. As his father beheld his wet, weary son, he pieced together what had unfolded. Observing the profound bond between the boy and the wolf, he felt a mix of approval and gratitude. After one final, poignant glance at his sons, the wolf swiftly vanished into the forest's depths, leaving behind an indelible and exhilarating memory for them to cherish. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comment section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.